Hi there, everybody, and welcome. I'm Katie Linden, and I am so excited to be starting a Wellness Wednesday series where I get to interview people that I adore, who have helped me on my health journey, and brings more health benefits to all of you there, because people are always asking me, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I eat? Who do I see? And this is one way I can introduce all of you to awesome resources in my life. So today we have Naomi, who's the owner of N'Lighten Far Infrared Sauna. She's in Hastings on Hudson here in Westchester County, New York, but wherever you may be, if far infrared saunas are around, you just have to search a little bit and I'm sure you'll find one. But we're going to start off. I thought Naomi could first share a little bit maybe about the benefits of far infrared, and then we'll shift into your health journey, because I think it's fascinating what brings us to what we do. And now this is your business. So first of all, why is far infrared so amazing that you decided to open a business with it?
Well, aside from increasing endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, which are the feel-good hormones, when you leave an infrared sauna, you just feel amazing. And for those of us that have autoimmune issues, whether we're constantly feeling fatigued or have inflammation and have achy joints and muscles, to feel like so amazing when you're done with a sauna session is fabulous. It removes toxins and heavy metals. It eases, like I mentioned, eases muscle and joint pain. It improves immunity, which is huge. Anything, that raises our core body temperature and which mimics a fever keeps us healthy, because it can kill cold and flu viruses before they settle, which is huge in these strange times that we're living in.
Exactly, a little preventative.
Absolutely. And it also, it's wonderful for people that have any autoimmune condition, but it's fabulous for those of us in the Northeast as well, with the lower level of light, and those of us that might have seasonal affective disorder. It's your way of, feeling the heat of the sun without seeing the sun, sometimes for days on end, or winter camps and tend to seem very long.
Yeah. And could you explain why it's different than working out and sweating that way?
Yes, because when we're in a calm state and sweating, we are able to detox more efficiently than when you're working out, running, or doing some kind of athletic activity where you're sweating a lot. Our parasympathetic system is engaged and we are sweating, but we're not really detoxing. And that's why I think, all exercise, anything that makes you sweat is fabulous. Yeah. But that's why infrared saunas are so beneficial to really, lighten that load on the liver and help us. We can all detox. We live in unfortunately, we live in a very toxic world.
Yeah, I say we live in a toxic soup, but our bodies are amazing and
yes,
resilient.
They are.
And they naturally detox all the time, but we want to support it. So when I have people on my clean eating programs and they're working to stop ingesting inflammatory things, I'm always like, sweat. Can we sweat? Can we go sweat anyway? Can we sweat? And so whether it's hot yoga or a sauna or whatever, but far infrared is the best because it's the light, right? Doesn't it heat up the core?
It does. It goes,
exactly.
Yes, it goes in deep. And also you had mentioned for those people on your program that are detoxing, for 50% of people, we have gene mutations that don't allow us to detox efficiently. So that's where an infrared sauna or a sauna could really benefit those of us who tend to hold on to things. And over time, holding on to especially heavy metals can cause inflammation and illness in our bodies.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned that one before. It's the MTHFR gene expression, which I have as well. And like you said, 50% of the population has it. So people are like, you can get tested. Functional medicine doctors, naturopath, homeopaths they have the tests you can get. But I always say, just kind of assume you might have it. And especially if you feel like like what you said, I would have identified with that before, like holding on to things. It seems to be harder for me to, whether it's let go of weight or, detoxify, even after like drinking wine or something, it seems to impact me differently than
Yes.
some people. And that's one maybe, reason that you might think, oh, maybe me.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, it's interesting when you're in the far infrared sauna, it does give you benefits as if you've worked out, right? Because your cardiovascular system.
Absolutely. It's fabulous for your heart health and blood pressure, circulation, and your lymph.
Mhm.
Very few things move our lymph around. And this is one of them. Dry brushing, which you can incorporate into your sauna session before you go in.
Oh, I just lost your audio. I hear you, but it's very faint.
Oh. I think
Oh, you're back.
hold on.
You're back. You're back on. That's the top of her sauna. Yes, I think someone came in her business. She's there. And that's the top of the sauna. Yeah, you're in the sauna.
Sorry about that.
You're in the sauna, which is great.
Yes, I am in the sauna, but the heat is off because
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
still sweating.
Yeah, I bet it's always warm in there. So, what were we saying? So I was saying,
we were
get
talking
the cardiovascular benefits from.
Oh, yes. And how infrared saunas are fabulous for moving the lymph around.
Yeah.
And really dry brushing, jumping on a trampoline, and an infrared sauna or a lymphatic massage for those of us that feel comfortable enough to still get massages.
Yeah, exactly. And could you share also, I was thinking about the heat. Some people say, I don't like heat. So this is interesting. This is me. I don't like heat. I said this my whole life. It's not good for me. My body just doesn't do well in the heat. I had this whole story about who I was, which is ironic now that I love hot yoga, 105 rooms with humidity, and I love the sauna. But so I did have to work my mind around it. But how hot is it in there? And
well, these saunas, I have just a far infrared in the back room that only goes up, that tops out at 140. The full spectrum saunas, of which I have 2, those go up to 158. But the really nice thing about an infrared sauna as opposed to a traditional sauna is that you are in control of your heat.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people to have that sense of control is very liberating. And for many people where traditional saunas go over 200 degrees, they just can't deal with that heat. Whereas you have a level of autonomy in an infrared sauna because you can, as long as you're sweating, that's the temperature you should be at. And for many people, that's 125, that's 130. And for others, it's 140, 145. Everyone is so vastly different and unique. And it's really about finding your own sweet or sweat spot.
I love that, the sweat spot. And I know that for me, I generally like to be closer to 140, but there's some days I go in there and I can barely tell, I'm like 135 and I'm like taking it down. So it doesn't,
Right.
It's not like an athletic accomplishment to be
on No, you don't have to be uncomfortable. I mean, as long as you're sweating, that's the goal. And it can be enjoyable. And for some people, they're just as happy to listen to music in here, read a book, or just listen to a guided meditation.
That's what I do. It's a meditation zone. I love it in there.
Yes.
And so what, full spectrum, what does that mean versus the
full spectrum is near, mid, and far infrared.
Mhm.
Far infrared is detoxification, removing the heavy metals and toxins. It also eases muscle and joint pain. The near and mid tend to focus on your skin health. So it's really beneficial for people that have psoriasis, eczema, acne, those type of skin conditions.
Yeah.
And I actually had a client that was getting really bad eczema over the winter. And she came every single day for 3 months and she basically cured herself. And now she is coming in just for maintenance. And that's once every couple of weeks.
Yeah. And how long do people usually sit in the sauna?
It depends. Everyone is different. I mean, some people are very happy with a short 30-minute session. Other people like the 45, and some people love the hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more on the 45 to an hour. But listen, I remember the first time I did this, and what you said is so key, that autonomy. When I would get that really hot feeling where you feel like I can't breathe, I'm not used to this, until you learn how to relax into it. But I would, open the door. I would like get
Yeah,
out.
yes, and you can do that, and you're still getting the benefits of infrared.
Like just for a minute to get my breath, and then I would go back.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
helps.
that's what's nice. Also, you can step out if you
Yeah.
need to.
So I don't know if you can show us, like you're in a room, so you're in your
Yes,
own
I can show you.
a little dressing area, and then
I will back away. Well, now it's going to look a mess because this is where I was sitting.
I always have pictures when I go in there. It's so lovely.
This is the sauna.
So the glass enclosure and the wood, you're sitting in there, and then there's a room outside of it.
And then you've got the bench in here. Are you being able to see that?
Yeah, I see the bench and then the water.
And then there's water, so you can step out.
Yeah.
Were you able to see any of that? It's so hard to tell because
it was perfect.
my camera's backwards now.
Yeah, so it's good. So yeah, I just want people to know. So you have very, very private, and
yes,
and
yes.
I really find your shop so unique because you have more than one. I've found people that have, I want to own one. That's my goal. But, until then, I really appreciate you.
This is my until then. Yes, eventually I want to have my own as well. But now I'm happy to share with everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm glad.
And also what I wanted to say is the heat, it being a dry heat, makes the difference.
Yep.
It's not a moist heat, which can tend to be a little harder to tolerate.
Yep.
I personally find moist heat a little irritating.
Yeah.
As we're going into the hot, humid weather.
I know. I do too. Now I like it if I'm in a controlled studio and I want to sweat. Otherwise, I find it annoying too. So I hear you. So, and to all those people that feel like heat is not your friend, like I just encourage you. It's a mental thing. I promise you, your body is meant to detox. So and sweat. And I always say skin's your largest organ. And it's one of our major detox organs. And that's why sweating is so important. So, and it just speeds things up, whether you're looking for weight loss or you're looking to detox or whatever, metabolism, sweating just speeds things up. So I would love, Naomi, if you could share with our audience your journey, like how you got to know about infrared and use it and what happened in your life that got you to be this wellness practitioner now.
Yes. Well, about 6 years ago, I got very ill. It started out really mundane with a rash that then continually spread until I was covered basically from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, even like the soles of my feet, my fingers, the pads in my fingers, yet also my knuckles. And going to a traditional doctor, all of my lab work and testing was coming out normal. Yeah. So basically I was fine, only I was getting sicker and sicker. Yeah. And finally, I reached out to a couple of doctors that I had gone to see prior to all of this. And do you want me to mention their names?
Yeah, sure. Mention their names.
Dr. Susan Blum at the Blum Center for Health. And she said, Naomi, we are going to treat this like you have an autoimmune disease. I want you to cut out all the, gluten, dairy, soy, all of the coffee, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to bring you back. And really sort of more like the autoimmune, the AIP diet.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I also saw Dr. June Lee at Scarsdale, used to be called Scarsdale
Integrative
Family Medicine. And she actually prescribed a steroid just to stop, my body from overreacting. During that time, as I was getting sicker and sicker and laying in bed and just trying to Google some of my symptoms, hoping that something would catch and I would figure out what it is I have and therefore know what to do about it. I actually saw that Dr. Amy Myers had an autoimmune summit,
Yeah.
and valuable information. I mean, I took notes, even though that was painful at that time with my hands. And a lot of the doctors had talked about infrared sauna therapy. And I thought, I need to try this. I need to find this.
Yeah.
And I did find a place in the city. I found a place called Higher Dose on the Lower East Side. And after my first session, I felt amazing. I mean, I just, when you suffer with autoimmune disease, the unspoken thing is fatigue. Like you're always so tired. I mean, I could sleep all night, and a half an hour after I wake up, I could go back to bed again sometimes, which is hard. We need to be doing so much stuff, especially if you've got children, and you don't have the luxury to go back to sleep. So when I found that and I did the sauna, I felt so amazing afterwards. Energy, focus, it was, but also it was, even though I don't find that I'm very anxious, it was anxiety relieving. Like you just feel like blissed out.
Mhm.
So I did that for a period of time. And then I sort of realized, like, wait, there have to be people in Westchester that could benefit from this. And initially I was going to do it with a friend, and she also had autoimmune issues, and we just decided we were going to bring infrared sauna therapy to the masses of Westchester. Unfortunately, she had to drop out. But with the support of my husband and my mother, they were like, you can do this. And
It's awesome. And I can't believe so many, when you're meant to meet people, because I'm in there and I'm looking at your books, and I saw Dr. Amy Myers, who I have followed too, and I've shared with my clients for years, Dr. Amy Myers, just about gut health and leaky gut.
Yes.
It's the
Yep.
junctions of the gut break open and food particles get into
Yes.
blood. This is the precursor to autoimmune. Most people are walking around with a little leaky gut. Even I was, and this is, what I do for a living, and I know about it.
Right.
I also used Dr. June Lita. It was on my fertility journey. I used her. I used another homeopath, Dr. Susan Sevensky in Harrison. She's moved now. And so functional medicine, homeopathic medicine, far infrared, IV therapy, like all of it, right? So
Yes.
it's like you find your modalities, but the thing
Yes.
that I
Yes.
continue to come back to is far infrared. I would go more often if my schedule allowed, but I absolutely love it. So, I wanted to ask you one other question. Oh,
I'm just going to switch locations because I just realized that someone's going to be coming in for the
yes, those
sauna.
are almost done too. And I just
I'm
wanted
just going to move to the back
anything you
area.
wanted to offer to people watching who are interested in live in Westchester and want to come check it out.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Yeah,
Hang on
so
one
anything
second.
you want to offer our viewers who are in Westchester and are watching and think they want to come check it out? Any
Yes.
specials? Because I know you have some, right?
I'm just going to raise the volume on you, Katie. For
Sure.
some reason, I can't hear you now. I don't know what happened.
Okay, well, I know
So one more time. I know you said something about an offer for
people that want to come in. They can
yes, absolutely.
They can go to your
well, I have a new client special. It's 3 30-minute sessions for $75. And basically a 30-minute session generally costs $35. So you're really getting like almost one session for free.
Yeah.
But you're not committed to that also because, if you come in and you find that infrared is not for you, I mean, I love it, but, I don't think that there's a one size fits all for anything. Then you're not committed to, you pay after your session and then you can decide.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's great. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we wrap up today?
No, I mean, I think basically for 35, if you're struggling and you're at sort of a health plateau, I think that we should all try and do things that make us feel better. And it can't hurt to try because you don't know if one thing will click for you.
Yeah.
And for infrared can be a fairly cheap thing in the whole scheme of things. Like you
Yeah.
can spend more at Starbucks than you can for, I mean, if you go, especially if you go with your kids, my gosh, it can be $50, $60 as opposed to $35 to try out something that may just make you feel great.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to feel great?
A little self-care. And I forgot to
Yes.
mention, you do have the light therapy, which we see behind you right now.
Yes. Oh, this is I moved because someone's going to come into the other sauna. This is the 3-person sauna. Yet one person can go in it and just have more space on the bench.
That's fun. And the light therapy, you can pick your light. She has a card
Yes.
about what each light, because light therapy too works. So she talks about all that too. So thank you, Naomi, so much.
Oh,
for
thank
sharing that.
you. Thank
And
you.
if you go to Enlighten, tell her you saw this, because that'll be fun.
Yes. And mention Katie.
Yeah, mention Katie. That'd be fun. All right, guys. And
all right. Thank you so much.
Detox with me and infrared with her, we can talk. It's a good thing. All right. Bye. Have an awesome day.
Bye.
Bye.